what can people do to protect Rojava, to protect its co-ops, to protect its people, and everything else that's positive that's going on in Rojava? We're not able to get into a lot of what's going on over there today. Hopefully, in the future, a discussion we can talk about all the amazing things going on over there, including the children's assemblies. But what can people do?
Right. So as Emre mentioned, the possibility of another Turkish invasion is really the greatest threat to Rojava and to all of its achievements at that point. And we at ECR, we are very alarmed by the renewed threats by the Turkish government to once again invade Rojava, to complete the project, this project of the security zone that was not completed, that Erdogan was prevented from completing in 2019. And what's alarming is that Turkey is trying to take advantage of Russia's invasion of Ukraine right now, and Turkey's own role in this conflict. As Emre mentioned, Turkey right now is utilizing its NATO membership, its veto power as a NATO member, to stall the entry of Sweden and Finland into NATO in exchange for such concessions as lifting of arms embargo to Turkey, right? So Turkey is trying to get more jet flights that it has used in its invasions and its attacks against Kurds. Turkey is trying to play off Russia and the United States, right? In this Ukrainian crisis, Turkey has not supported either side fully, right? And is trying to support both camps and get favors and concessions from both camps at the same time. So we do not know whether Turkey may be able to get another green light either from Russia or the United States, in exchange for certain favors or concessions vis-a-vis the situation in Ukraine, right? So we do not know. The likelihood of another invasion, we believe, is much higher at this point, given this international conjuncture as well as domestic conjuncture. One thing that we haven't mentioned is that the next year is Turkey's presidential and parliamental elections, and Erdogan has been consistently using the so-called Kurdish question to rally support for himself and for his own party. So he may use another invasion of North and East Syria in order to secure more support for himself, given that there is nothing else that he can give to his supporters, right? The country is in a dire economic crisis. So what we are asking our supporters and people who want to support Rojava to do is, specifically those who are based in the United States, is to reach out to the government, to the US government, and ask the United States government to take action, and specifically to publicly condemn Turkey's threats to invade Northeast Syria once again, to threaten some clear consequences if such an invasion happens, including more sanctions, right, against the Turkish government, and to use any diplomatic channels that it is using right now, that the United States is using vis-a-vis Russia, right, to oppose and to make it more difficult for Russia to continue its invasion of Ukraine. So we are basically asking the United States to take similar action towards Turkey to prevent another invasion, and make it more difficult for Turkey to take on, to launch such an invasion. But as I mentioned in the beginning, we do not just work with the Congress. There are other actions that people could do. For example, what you are doing right now is really great, right? We're having this conversation that, as I understand, you will share with the members of your group, that can be possibly shared on social media, just to raise awareness, about this issue, about this looming threat, about the ongoing attacks against Rojava, just to expand the support among the U.S. Public for Rojava. And once people are aware, once people are learn about the amazing things that are happening in Rojava, we hope that we can also get more action going in terms of how to defend Rojava, whether it's in terms of demonstrations on the streets or calling out Congress people.
And one last addition to my response to the question. I invite people to think of showing solidarity in any way they can, not necessarily limited to these contacting state representatives, but for example, our audience, co-ops, not cages, are involved in collective economic practices and organizations, and the collective economy, cooperatives, communes in Rojava is a strong vein. So there is great potential of solidarity and collaboration in this collective economy, organizing cooperatives, communes type of way. If you are not a member of a co-op in the US, but let's say of a feminist organization, similarly, Kurdish women's movement is organized autonomously and is seeking to increase international solidarity. If you are part of a film commune, the film communes in Rojava are increasingly reaching out, trying to make collaborative projects to redefine, film in the 21st century in a different emancipatory way. So no matter what, you spend, great amounts of time on or what moves you, there is sort of potential for collaboration with folks in Rojava, and as ECR, we'd be happy to facilitate that.
Yeah, I think one term for that is organize where you stand. Whatever networks, connections you have, there's some relevance that you can find to make bridges, and I think that's what we need the most is bridges, because a lot of work is put in to separate us, so that we don't know the truth and so we don't act.